Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, and today we're going to have a bit more of a relaxed video. We're going to be doing a build, a more value for money orientated build here today. So I've never done one of these before, and it's not going to be so much a how-to video because there's plenty of those, and if you want to see really good how to build a PC videos, I suggest checking out Linus's how to build videos. He's done quite a few of them now. They're very detailed, very well done. And this isn't going to be like that. This is just going to be a bit of fun showing a build that I think is a really good value for money build. Obviously you could do it better, and everyone has differing opinions on different areas of say like with the SSD or with the graphics card or something like that. But this is just one I think which is really good. So let's get into it and talk about some of the components we have here that's going to be making up this system. So we'll start over here on the right hand side with the case. So this is a Fractal design, Define R4. So this is a really good case, very popular. Everyone likes them. I personally think they look really good. I think they have a lot of options. And overall they're just a great case with great noise isolation. They do only come with one fan in the front, one 140, down the bottom there. So two extra ones here up the top, and that way we're going to add another one to the front there, and then possibly add another one to the bottom, but we'll just see how it goes. I just really like this case. This is the Arctic White one, the limited edition, and yeah, I think it's just an absolutely excellent case. Great value for money. It is a bit more on the expensive side, but I think having a really good case really makes up with a good quality. You won't have problems in the long run. Now we'll jump down here, and how about we go for the power supply. What's going to be powering this big rig? So it's going to be a Cooler Master V750. So that's a 750 watt gold rated power supply. Semi-modular as well. So that basically means cable management will be a little bit easier. You might be thinking later in this video, well, 750 watt gold is probably a bit overkill for it. Yeah, it might be, but I mean, having a bigger power supply then allows you to have more options further down the road without having to upgrade. And that's one of the key things I like about going a little bit too big in terms of power supply, rather than going a little bit too small, and then when you want to upgrade later, having to upgrade your power supply at the same time. So that's the power supply we are going to be using. Now let's have a look at storage. So we have, for mass storage, a Seagate Barracuda 2 TB. Now Barracudas are really good. I mean, the one I've had in my personal system has been going for about 5 years now, although it's getting a little bit funny now. But yeah, they're really good, they're really cheap, they'll get you by really well, and I personally really like them, and I think they are a great hard drive for mass storage. But of course we're going to need an SSD as well, for the OS, a few games, stuff like that, just so it's nice and snappy and it's really fast. And for SSD we're going to be using a Intel 530 series 120GB SSD. So the 530 series I really like. They're a lot cheaper than the 730 series, obviously not as fast or anything like that, but I think they're a very good value for money SSD, and they've got great reliability, and Intel SSDs are absolutely excellent. I highly recommend them to everybody. Intel and Samsung SSDs are what I think are very good. Now let's get to, let's go over this side and talk about the CPU and the motherboard. So CPU we're going with is the Intel Pentium G3258. So this is the little 2-core that I've recommended a lot, and I think it's excellent. It's basically a 2-core Haswell, comes in very low cost, and they overclock like absolute crazy. Not only that, but they don't actually require that much cooling because they run very cold, especially compared to other things like 4790Ks and stuff like that. So they're an excellent CPU. There has been a few issues with them lately, things like Far Cry 4 only taking quad cores. That's not so much, I think, the CPU's fault, and more the game developer's fault for programming them kind of funny. I mean, this thing does absolutely excellent. Single-threaded applications, it's just phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be any good for productivity stuff. but for gaming it'll do you really, really well, especially when they're overclocked. The stock clock is pretty low, so you're definitely going to be wanting to overclock it. And with that, we're going to need a nice motherboard. So this was the Asus Z97-A. I really like these. Again, a lot of people might think, well, that's a bit overkill for that little Pentium. It is, but it gives you the options of later. Say you want to get into more productivity, stuff like that, you can upgrade to a 4690K or something like that. But the Z97-A is a great sort of, gives you what you need motherboard, and doesn't have anything you don't need. I think it's really good. It comes in at a really aggressive price point, and it's absolutely excellent, and I really like it. Now, cooler is the Hyper. Whoops, we'll just move this over. The Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. So the 212 is really good. They come in really cheap. They're actually a decently big cooler as well, which a lot of people don't realize. They fit a lot of sockets, which is also really good. And for the G32, I mean, a lot of people overclock them on the sock cooler. So this is just kind of, you know, there to be, it'll be a bit too overkill for the Pentium maybe, but again, with upgradability later down the road, it'll do you really well, and they come in at a fantastic price point. Operating system down there is just Windows 8.1, 64-bit, nothing too out of the ordinary here. And then lastly, graphics card. So you guys know how I love 290s, so this is the Powercolor PCS R9 290, the one I consider the second best R9 290 out there. This is just an excellent, excellent graphics card. The cooling is amazing. I mean, it's absolutely huge. But yeah, the cooling is amazing. The Hawaii GPUs in them go really hard. It's got nice, you know, 4 GB of GDDR5, so a lot of memory. And 290s will do you very well in the long run, just because of, you know, obviously the memory and the GPU and all the features it has. It's just an excellent GPU, and they're coming in at a really, really good price now, which means that you're going to get a very powerful GPU for your amount of money. So that's a basic explanation about the parts that we're going to be using. Oh yeah, covered everything. So that's basically, whereas as I said, this is probably not the best value for money setup you could have, but I think it's a pretty solid one, and it gives you a good amount of upgradability later without having to swap out too much stuff. So let's get into this build and see how we go. Forgot to mention that the RAM we're using is the Gskill RipJaws X series, 8GB kits. That's 2 times 4 GB. And has a speed of 1600 megahertz. This will do it very, very nicely. So just putting the rear I/O guard on first. Now just putting in the motherboard standoffs. So we just got the motherboard in. The I/O shield was not very much fun at all. I cut my finger as well, which isn't cool because they're so sharp on the ledges on them. Ideally, you'd want to test the CPU and everything in the motherboard outside of the case instead of just chucking it in, but we're a little bit short on time, so we're just going to chuck it straight in like this and just, you know, hashtag YOLO and hope it all works later on down the road. But if you want to do it completely properly, then yeah, testing this outside the case, usually on the motherboard box, and testing out the CPU like that is a better idea to do that first. Alright, so now we're going to chuck in the CPU, Pentium K, the G3258. So we're just going to go down here, pull this arm out, lift this back, wearing my anti-static bracelet. Now you can see there's a little marking down here and the 2 sort of insteps in the top. So I'm going to take our CPU out. Going to just drop it down. Obviously you don't want to bend the pins, so you just want to drop it straight down on there. Give it a little bit of wiggle, make sure it's in place. That's fine. That's good. See the marking down there and the little triangle in the bottom corner. That's fine. Now we're going to lower this top part back down. Don't touch this, the black part. You don't need to worry about that. It's going to pop off. Now you're going to need to use a bit of force and push it down. See the black part dropped off? And we're done. Your CPU is installed. Nice and easy. So we're just tightening up the back plate here for our Hyper 212 cooler. It's nice and snug. And then we'll be mounting that guy up. There we go. Cool. Backplate all installed. So we'll check on the thermal paste now that we have the backplate installed and everything's ready for the cooler to go on. So you want to put about the size of a uncooked grain of rice right in the middle. Whoops. Okay, that was tiny, but this is too much. A little bit. Kind of came out a bit quick, but that's okay. That's tons. Less is better, so obviously, you know, a little bit less than that would have been better, but that'll be just fine. Yeah, now I'll go to the other side. Yep. Just want to make sure the back is pushed in. Yep. So this is our RAM going in now that the Hyper 212 is on. The other stick of RAM going in. Yep. So RAM's very simple. Obviously you just want to match up the colors to each other. You can see here, grey and grey go together, and then it's as simple as opening up the tops. So pulling them back and then just pushing them in until they clip. And there's a ridge in them anyways, about 3/4 of the way up, 2/3 of the way up, so you can only put them in one way, so you can't screw it up. Very easy. So we took out one of the hard drive cages here just because the PCS Plus R9 290 is, you know, it's over 300mm long. It's so massive that it's probably going to extend and get very close to it. But we don't need it anyways. We're only installing 2 drives, so you might as well just take it out, and then we get less restrictive airflow going through to the GPU. Now we have our 530 series Intel SSD. That's all mounted like that on its little sled. So we can drop that one in when we want, and just mounting up now the hard drive here, the Seagate Barracuda. Oh, there goes my phone. And then we can mount that one afterwards. Okay. So here we have our Cooler Master V750 power supply, gold rated power supply. So gold's pretty good. That's going to give good efficiency, a decently clean power going to all our components there. So that's really good. 750 watt, as I said before, is good for the future as well, more future proof. Rather go a bit too big than a bit too small. So to put it in, it's quite easy. So as I said earlier, it's semi-modular. So you see there's some cables here, but then there's still some modular ones that we can plug in there. Move these ones over. So it's quite easy. We're having it facing the fan down. Just personally what I like, because we're going to have a lot of airflow going to the GPU and stuff anyways, so this guy can suck from underneath and that's not going to be a problem. So you just push it up like this, and then take the 4 motherboard screws, these guys, and then just screw them into the back, nice and easy. So now we're going to show you how to wire it up, and first we're going to start with all the front buttons and things like that. So you have the power LED, positive and negative. This came with the motherboard. This just makes it a little bit easier for wiring everything up. You can just wire it all into this, and then it just makes it a little bit easier. So we put the negative into the negative. Oh, I could do it at the same time. That might be easier. Positive, positive. Negative to negative. Very easy, just like that. Scoot those two on. Now what? Let's have a look. Let's find something else. This power switch, so the power and ground, see that, so we can put that in, 2 wires, so the black wire will most likely be the ground wire and the red wire will most likely be the power, so that's how we're going to tell those two apart. Generally it's not always the case. Reset switch, so reset and ground, that one down the bottom there, put that one in. Just like that, nice and snug. Then this is just USB, so don't need to really worry about that guy right now. And this is just the HD audio. So nice and easy. Over here we can just plug them all into that. plug it straight in, nice and easy. USB goes in, and then the front panel audio is the one over here, and so that plugs in over there. That's why I was just looking around for it. I couldn't see where it went in on the motherboard before. So now we're going to put in the power for the motherboard. It's this big one right here. So you just push that big guy in. Usually have to give them a bit of muscle, get them all nicely snug. There we go. There we go. That's in. Nice, and that's all our power for the motherboard. So this is the front USB 3.0 connector. This goes around and in here. Can't really see. Wind up. Oh, close enough. Whoops. Make sure that only goes in one way. There's a little notch at this top, so you can't screw it up. There we go. That's all in, and that's our front USB 3.0 connected. Whoa, we're in the club again. There we go. Front USB 3.0 connected. So now I want to do the CPU power. This one right here. So we're just going to use this little, these 4 pins, twin ones. So that's our power there for the CPU, all connected up the top there. So now we're going to connect up our hard drive and our SSD. So we connected this bad boy up. This is the power for them. So we go, oh, blind, can't see, there we go. So put that in the back of the power supply. We'll run these through, we'll do cable management last, which is my least favorite part of doing a build. It's never that much fun. We'll run these guys through, and the only other thing we are going to require is, get the last one of these through, is our SATA cable. So we're obviously going to need 2 of those, which are these guys right here. You can get them with right angle mounts, like this one right here. Just goes to straight. Or we can get straight to straight mounting ones, like these 2 right here. So let's wire these guys up. So now we can wire these up to the SSD, and we just oh, you're gonna be a monkey, aren't you? Yep, there we go. So that's that one in. They can be a bit funny to get in sometimes. Then we put this one down here. That's where our SATA cables come from. So we'll use the right angle one on the bottom one, and the straight on the top. So we just yep, that way. So just plug them in just like this. Just go straight in, clip like that, and then we go and clip those into the motherboard. We'll just do the bottom one here as well. Bottom SATA cable, so right angle one down here. There we go. Then we just take these, and now we can put them through and plug them into the motherboard. So now we're going to be connecting up all our fans. We'll start with our CPU fan. It's up the top here. We just plug that guy in. They can only go in one way. Then if you follow me down around here, over this side, yep, we see a chassis fan 1. So we can plug this guy into it. We'll just pull it through like that, and plug. Oops. These ones will just be 3 pins, so pull them off. There'll be a pin still sticking up. That's okay. Only CPU fans use all 4 pins usually. So just case fans will just use 3 pins. We got that one, and we just got to do these front ones as well, which goes straight in. And then if we come down the bottom here, we have our other one. This is our other front fan, twin one 40mm in the front, and we're going to plug that guy in right there. Nice and easy. So we chucked our other 140mm fan up in the top at the very back. So if you come back a bit, we can see, so we have our 2 exhausts up here, exhaust fans, in the top left corner of the case. And if we come down, we've blocked off with the soundproof foaming the bottom hole here for another fan if that would be needed, but it's not going to be. And then at the front we have the twin 140mm also. So twin 140s at the front taking air in, and then twin 140s in the back left, which will be exhausting the air out. Alright, so we have our Powercolor PCS R9 290. Excellent graphics card, absolutely massive. So we're going to want to chuck it in the top PCI Express 3.0 slot. If that's possible, you always want to do the top one. Now, getting these in can be a little bit fiddly, getting it all to line up, but once you do, it should just slot in. There we go. Just like that. Slot straight in. Then we just put the 2 bolts in here, the same as these ones, to hold it in place, and then we just put our 8-pin and 6-pin power connector in. And as you see, we might have, no, we wouldn't have gotten away with keeping the middle cage in. It's just such a massive graphics card. So now we have the super boring job of cable management, which nobody would want to watch, so we'll just show you it once it's all done. Oh. Alright, so we're all done. This was quite a fun build. It was pretty easy. You know, building a PC isn't hard, so if you're scared before, there's plenty of videos out there that'll guide you through it. This one was just a bit more of a relaxed, fun one. But this build's going to be really good, really powerful, but has the ability to be upgraded later. You know, a Z97, especially a Z97-A in this case, is a good motherboard where you can upgrade to, you know, higher end processors if you need to. And the 750 watt gold Cooler Master V750 is also going to be good, giving you lots of power for future GPUs that might be coming out, or if you want to run multiple GPUs of, say, future ones when they come out, because they're always getting more efficient now. So it's just a good setup. In this case, is very nice, easy to work with. The R4, I really like it. So it's just installing the operating system and then doing all the Windows updates, getting all the drivers for all the different bits, and setting everything up and doing the overclock on the Pentium K, or the G3258, and getting all that done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a comment down below if you enjoyed it and want to see maybe another build like this sometime in the future at some point. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.